Earlier, 2 seconds, everyone don burst. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow obedient family, Indigo, fellow Nigerians, pay attention to this video. This is an important update and also share the video so that every Nigerians out there will see this particular update. Abeg, make una help me beg Tinubu, make this man remove mouth from Niger issue. See guys, I don't want to talk that much. You understand more better what I'm trying to explain in this video when you watch this video that is playing on this background, and I'll be right back.
The Tinubu regime is failing to understand the huge contradictions that is plaguing the whole of the African continent. And what is showcasing is that they are still, because what is foreign policy? Foreign policy is a reflection of your domestic policy. And we have seen all of the policies that the Tinubu regime has imposed on Nigeria since it came to power on the 29th of May this year. And that policy program has been extended in transforming the Tinubu regime and the whole of Ecowas to a lackey of French imperialism. Nigeria provides electricity to Niger Republic. And yet Niger Republic is the #7 highest producer of uranium all over the world. It means that from the uranium that is available even in Niger Republic, it is unable to power or provide electricity for its own people. And this is the huge contradiction that plagues the whole question of neo-colonialism and imperialism on the whole of the African continent. Africa has never left the pit of colonialism that it was done to just serve as a basis of providing raw materials to the whole of Western Europe. And without industrialization, how can we begin to provide jobs for all of the millions and billions of people on the whole of the African continent? And this is where we must come out clear to say that we are opposed to sanctions, because these sanctions, it is the ordinary people, it is the working people in Niger Republic that will be made to suffer. And these people are not responsible, for the failure of the Bazuma regime. Or were they responsible for the coup plotters that have taken over power in Niger Republic? So I think we must come out clear to say that there's a second issue to sanction. And that is the fact that Nigerians will not immediately forget. If the Tinubu regime has forgotten, it should be reminded that Niger Republic hosts a refugee camp of Nigerians, a fallout of its own failure to successfully combat the jihadist insurgents as represented by Boko Haram, and ISWAP group in Nigeria. So let's return back to this issue of military coup. I think we must also point out that we are opposed to war. We are opposed to Nigerians going to war. We are opposed to sending Nigerian soldiers to go and be shot and killed in defense of a bourgeois democracy that is clear to the mass of the working people, not just in Niger Republic, but even in Nigeria as well. That it has not helped, it has not done anything to improve the welfare and lives of the mass of the working people. Maybe Tinubu knows something that Nigerians don't know. And it is clear to some of us what he thinks that Nigerians don't know, is that there is an attempt for the Tinubu regime to take this action as a form of self-preservation for itself. But let us return back to our history. Why do soldiers plot coups? Soldiers plot coups because governments fail, to be representative of what? Of their mass of the working people. And it was Babangida who classically pointed this out, explaining why they took over power in Nigeria, that they wait for elections to be conducted, to be rigged, and on that basis, so classically, Nigeria itself is ripe for such an action, even though we must point out that we are opposed to military coups as well. But in saying that we are opposed to war, does it now mean that we must come in defense of the coup plotters that have taken over power in Niger Republic or in all of these other African countries? We must say no to that as well. And this point must be made quite clear. The jihadists themselves, what interests do they represent? Are they empowering the working masses to become those who will decide the affairs of their destiny? So far in the Niger Republic, that point has not been seen.
Now, let me just quickly get your perspective on this. What are the major challenges that Ecowas face in mediating the political crisis that's happening in Niger with respect to this coup? and within its member countries.
This question of mediation and diplomacy is that what does West Africa, all of the leaders in West Africa, who are they? What is the state of the whole of the economy of the West African economy? The whole Sahel region is dominated by jihadist insurgencies, which in itself is an indication of a failure of governance of all of these member countries of Ecowas. So you have a situation where those who are out to go and mediate are going to mediate over an issue that ultimately they can't resolve, because even in their own countries, as the case of Nigeria is, the Nigerian military has proved incapable of defeating Boko Haram. And these are not trained regular army. They have failed to defeat the huge numbers of bandits that exist all over the whole of northern Nigeria. This is the same regular army, and like the rank and file Nigerian military have pointed out, it is not because they are unwilling to fight. It is because war for the generals and the top echelons of the ruling classes in Nigeria offers another opportunity to make more money. We must not easily forget that Nigeria led Ecowas with ECOMOG to Liberia, and it was another opportunity for the Abacha regime to loot the wealth of this country. So this war for Tinubu regime could only provide one thing, another means for generals to be settled, to dip their hand into the wealth of Nigeria. It's also another opportunity for the Tinubu regime, like we have pointed out, to send a warning to any attempt by officers to think that they want to overthrow him. But more importantly, is that Tinubu regime is making itself out to become a lackey for French imperialism. The whole of French West Africa is economically controlled and dominated by France. You will expect that Macron, and what did how has Macron reacted to this coup? His first statement was that it was a dangerous and illegitimate attempt by the junta in taking over power. The second statement of Macron is extremely very important, and that if their interest in Niger is threatened, that they will react with all maximum ability. And what does that state? What is Macron and French interest in Niger Republic? The interest is simple: uranium. And they are unwilling to lose that control and dominance. So we must point out clearly to the Tinubu regime that it must not transform Nigeria, which is a lackey of the IMF and World Bank, to a new lackey of French imperialism. And it is from this point of view that I think we must use this platform to call on the trade unions in Nigeria to be in the forefront of leading a campaign to ensure that Nigerian soldiers are not trooped out into Niger Republic to go and be shot or to go and be killed.
Now let's also look at the role of ECOWAS, especially in promoting stability and democracy in West African region. Has ECOWAS failed?
You see, the bourgeois democracy in Africa up till this point is a failure. And to the point that you have an organization of the same leaders who have failed in their various African states. But that in itself does not define, any form of unity, of political unity or economic unity. Interestingly, in spite of all of this free movement from one West African state to another West African state, we have seen Nigerians, deported from Ghana in mass numbers. We have seen Nigerians, also deport Ghanaians in mass numbers over various economic crises in all of these countries. So, what role has West Africa, as this organization, played? Beyond that, it is increasingly becoming, a gang, an organization, of African leaders, of West African leaders, who think that they can use that body to protect themselves from the anger of the mass of the working people. Nigerians are extremely angered against their government, and not just so, in the whole of Sahara, West Africa.
Thank you for watching that video. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time on this great platform, please look at the top here. You will see where they wrote follow. Just follow the page and also put on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload any video in this great platform, you will be the first to see it. And don't forget to drop your comment at the comment section. Drop your comment, because that your comment is important to this great platform, so that we will know what you think about this video, your reaction, your opinion, whether you do okay with the video or you not do okay, or you get anything where you want contribute, say make we change for this platform, anything at all. You fit drop your comment so that we will fit reply you. Or if you get anything when you want advertise, like you want carry your things come here, or you want make we carry your product come this place, come showcase, come show your product, so that people go patronize you, so that people go support you. You can also write us on our message, just write us there, because we dey do advert for this platform as well. So not the way we know they do. So if you get anything wey dey important, wey be like say you want, we help you carry come here, just send the message, give us for our messenger, and we will reply you. And try and make you share this video. Just share the video, so that everybody out there will also see this video, so that they'll see know what we dey do for us. Say this kind of things they exist for this great platform. And this is where I will also end the video. So if you have anything to tell us, just drop the message, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. My country people, get the way pikin dey big reach, the big pass the parents. So now see finish, now make good